What's going on in this video? I'm going to break down A to Z LinkedIn acquisition system you can use to book 30 plus qualified calls a month. Just to show you, this is the exact system I'm about to go over that we're using. We booked 45 calls in the last 30 days using it. So it works extremely well, and LinkedIn right now is probably the best DM platform for any type of B2B high ticket service that you're selling. And so I'm going to walk through exactly how you can apply this in your own agency, consulting business, or whatever you run. So let me just... Yeah, so pretty much there's two different types of strategies. Outbound is obviously the main system and how we're going to get consistent qualified calls. And so with prospecting and connecting, you just want to use Sales Navigator or, normal search to find ICP fits. I've also got quite a unique strategy where I use a Boolean search filter in normal search. And we've actually built out a GPT to generate these types of searches. So we're in the agency niche. So, there's e-commerce agencies, there's email marketing agencies, there's ads agencies, there's AI automation agencies, there's all this stuff. And so you can actually put Boolean searches that hyper target these people in the actual search bar. So for example, we can try this one. And all you'd have to do is apply this with your keywords, your decision maker titles that you're usually working with. So if we have a look here, operations, I don't know. I help e-commerce, there we go, qualified leads, and you just want to connect with these leads. And so I'm going to give one more example, maybe of a bit of a better one, but maybe just founder and founder and ads. But pretty much I guess the nitty gritty doesn't really matter, but just apply your keywords, pick a decision maker title, and then you'll get a bunch of searches that you can connect with. So I can just connect with all these. You can also use My Network, which is also, once you've been connecting with the same profiles over and over, My Network will just show you a whole bunch of ones that you can connect with. So that's what, when it comes to connecting, that's all you really want to do, and prospecting as a whole. So the next part would be send 20 to 30 of these a day. You don't want to go over that, especially if you've got Sales Navigator, you can go to maybe a bit more, but you want to keep it at 20, 30 a day on a fully warmed account, and send 10 to 20 DMs a day just on weekdays, because I've found you can get some restrictions and temporary bans when you send outreach on weekends. So you're looking at sending around 100 DMs a day, and you can, with this system, you can get around a 5-6% appointment booking rate. So you can be booking, essentially this is how we get to the stage where on multiple accounts we're booking 45 calls a month. So when it comes to the outreach, so we run a personalized permission opener, a VSL into a VSL that explains, our offer at a high level, and then we send them a Calendly. So we also diversify follow-ups. So if someone doesn't reply to our VSL, or we send them a Calendly and they don't book in, we do looms, we do memes, we do like funny stuff, just pattern interrupts to get people booked in, because the inbox is probably flooded with a whole bunch of DMs. So the next part is actually how the permission message works. So you want to send this as a voice note or video, not text. So all the DM platforms have this in common, where everyone gets blasted with DM texts and just the same old scripts. So what you want to do is just change it up, send a voice note. You can automate this through prosp.ai if you haven't heard of that platform. You can also send videos if you want, but just do not send text for the first message. What you want to do, ask them a benefit-based question relevant to their pain. So what's going on, man? Just wondering if you're looking for some new organic strategies to sign clients, or if you're in any type of niche, you can just adapt it to that. Or you can say you're struggling to get qualified leads, so I've got a system I want to share with you. No worries if not, but if you don't really care, no worries, but give a thumbs up to this message and I'll send it over. Now when it comes to specific scripts, obviously I'm trying to reel it off, but as a framework, it's something you can just learn and apply. You want to give them the power to say yes or no. So give them literally, almost like make them laugh and give them the power to just say no to it, because everyone just pitches them. So we want to do what people aren't doing. Make the message scalable, but include type personalization. So this is important. So things like company name, their name, any slight little detail you find on their profile. Like, you don't want to go crazy with this for two reasons. You can't personalize messages crazy with all this detail at scale. You're never going to be able to do this on multiple accounts. You're never going to be able to hire appointment setters to do this for you, unless you have a script that has some type personalization but is repeatable and consistent and gets the same amount of calls no matter who you're really reaching out to. So that's the most important thing with this opener. You want to be careful with that. You just want to give them frame it as a system or strategy that you want to share with them. If you've got some case studies or social proof, so we've booked around 200 calls with our systems as a whole. So we could say, you mind if I share over some strategies that we've used to book 200 calls in the last few months? No worries if not, but just let me know. So that type of stuff, and you want to obviously adapt it to your niche. If you're in real estate, you're in AI markets, whatever you're in, you want to adapt it to that. And just a thumbs up to you don't want to make you don't want to overcomplicate it. You just want people to thumbs up to say, let's thumbs up the message, and you'll send it over. You don't really have to do this whole complicated CTA. You definitely don't want to go straight to a Calendly from the open message. People just won't book in. So what you want to do is share them an offer, but you want to frame it as a system. And then when it comes to the VSL itself, you record this once, so it's one and done. It's evergreen. Explain the offer at a high level, make it tangible, unique, specific. Do not do Hormozi guarantees, or you don't pay guarantees, or we'll get you 30 qualified calls and you don't pay. Like, these people are sick and tired of this messaging, and I learned this the hard way, like last year. That type of messaging just doesn't work, and Hormozi and all the offer obsession with offers. What matters is what's tangible and what is unique. So that's the only thing that's going to stand out. And if you've got something specific, if you've got some social proof, you do not need to rely on guarantees. If you do have a guarantee, that can be something you talk about with prospects on a sales call. It doesn't really need to be brought up in the appointment setting process. So avoid trigger words, like I mentioned, and again, thumbs up the message. That's the CTA you want at the end. So for them to receive a Calendly so that they can book in. So that's at a high level, and also you can just break down your system at a high level. So for us, we have a 3-pillared system where we help clients build out a front-end offer that's unique, specific, reliable, whatnot. Then we build out high-intent appointment booking systems that bring in highly qualified calls. Then we also have a warm omnichannel OS where we warm dial, text, engage leads, hit them from all angles to get them booked in straight away, so leads don't slip through the cracks. You can just explain, your system at a high level. You don't want to get into the details, nitty gritty. You want to keep it benefit driven. That's essentially what you do. So anyone who replies to the permission message, send the VSL. If they like the VSL, you send them the Calendly. And when you send the Calendly, you can put some text with it saying anything really, but just don't overcomplicate it. You can maybe just send the link, but you can also say, awesome, just grab a time on my calendar link and let's see if we can help you out. And then you just link your demo link. One thing that we found is when we were running this outbound system on it was working well, but then when we started adding inbound content, it actually started working much better. And our KPIs bumped up from 3 to 4% to 5 to 6%. So what you want to do is make YouTube videos and repurpose them onto LinkedIn. This is the best form of building trust, actually nurturing an audience to then be more warm up to your outreach. Of course, case study, social proof content, pure value. Controversial things maybe, but as long as they still solve a problem, that's fine. But the overall rule with content that will help you with outbound is to give value, give some social proof, show that you're uniquely positioned to everyone else, because that's one of the biggest things with acquisition right now. And then I've got a whole other video actually breaking down our entire content strategy to help your outbound efforts. And also, if I could just show you guys some of the stuff that we've been recently doing. So some recent YouTube videos, like this video itself, this will probably go on YouTube because, it just helps people. It actually provides value to the market without any crazy techie. It's just pure value to the market that helps them, sign clients with LinkedIn in this case. So, this is the type of content we post. Here's a YouTube repurposing video. Here's just a value link, because LinkedIn is a bit more formal, so you can make some longer messages. Most agencies lose 70% of their warm leads because they treat positive apply like a win. How I actually did this is covered in this video, because I've actually built out a content GPT that takes YouTube videos, transcripts, and it converts them into winning LinkedIn content. So definitely watch that video as well. It's just this one here. It's automate your content. So let's try this micro authority content strategy. This is the thumbnail for it. So you just want to click on that one and watch it too. Because that's going to help you with this overall system. Because like I mentioned, this is what's allowed us to book 45 calls in the last 30 days. And so this works for any B2B market. Just apply this and you'll start booking a lot of calls from LinkedIn. That's all for this video. Cheers, guys.